I'm eager to hear what Tony has to say. What all I can say is science will save us. Science has given us extra years to live. The average lifespan has increased so much in the last century. It's going to now save us from this terrible pandemic and from pandemics to come, because every time, as Tony has said, every time we go through this, we learn more about how to deal with it. We learn more about how nature works, so we can counterattack the attacks we get from our mother nature. And if we don't recognize science as our savior, we're barking up the wrong tree. Tony, I leave it to you.
You know, Alan, very well said. And I think I just want to underscore that by just taking this issue of vaccines in general, just to get people to appreciate, to look at the facts. So there are so many areas in human health in which science has benefited us. But science goes beyond biology and beyond the biomedical sciences and go to so many things that science does for us. But, you know, as a physician and as a biomedical scientist, I just would ask people to just take a moment to think about the science that's gone into the development of vaccines against diseases that a century or more ago would have had the life expectancy of people in this country be significantly less than it is right now. Vaccines against the common childhood diseases that often killed children. Vaccines globally against smallpox, which was one of the great scourges of the world, against measles, against polio. And now we're dealing, as Alan said, with the current situation that biomedical research and science has given us something that just a decade ago would have seemed unimaginable, to be able to have a new virus that we had never had experience before being thrust upon us and throw us into one of the most extraordinary destructive pandemic in over 100 years. And just over the past few days, science has allowed us to have a vaccine that when we distribute it to people throughout the country and hopefully throughout the world, we will crush this outbreak that has really terrorized us for the last 11 months, not only here in the United States, but worldwide. It's damaged severely the economy and led to people suffering things not necessarily directly related to being ill themselves, but all the secondary consequences that go with the effects of a global pandemic such as this. So when this is over, which it will be over, we're going to look back and say it was science that got us out of this. Pure science, the typical way where people discover and build upon previous discoveries until you get to a point where you have an intervention that's extraordinarily effective. So that's what I would like to leave the audience who have any skepticism about science with that thought.
That's a great upbeat note to end on. We now have only 13 days left in 2020. I don't think any of us is going to be sorry to see 2020 in the rearview mirror. Usually on New Year's Eve, I'm celebrating the old year. This year, I'm definitely celebrating the arrival of the new year. But I think one thing that we can take from it, we need to learn from this experience. And we've learned how to make vaccines faster. We've learned a lot about public health. We've learned a lot about, I hope, and you guys have helped us learn about science communication. We need to take those lessons moving forward. I'm sure that the 5,000 or so people who you can't hear applauding would join me in applauding both of you. Thank you so much. I'd like to, on behalf of the Duke Initiative for Science and Society, Stanford Center for Law and the Biosciences, and all the other many co-sponsors of this, very deeply and sincerely thank both of you for taking time from your busy schedules to be in this program. To everyone, stay safe, stay well, happy holidays, and 2021 is coming. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Alan. Good to see you again.
Great to see you again, Tony. Thank you, Hank. Bye-bye.
Thank you both. Bye.